for part 2, and we're going to have a look at Google Slides. Now, I'm not going to teach you today how to use Google Slides. I'm going to show you different ways that you can use Google Slides to support your teaching and to support your pupils' learning as well. So when I talk to people about Google Slides, their main kind of idea generally is that Google Slides is just like Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft PowerPoint is just for making kind of presentations for people similar to as we're doing today. But Google Slides is so much more than that. And I'm going to show you everything today, and I'm definitely going to convert you. So what is Google Slides? Google Slides is the best part of G Suite. Okay, it is a presentation tool, as we've said, so you can create your slideshow and share it with everyone. It's an image manipulation and creation tool. So I will show you in just a second how we as a school in Merkinch have been using Google Slides to create images and promotional material. It's an alternative to Hyperdocs. Now, Hyperdocs is brilliant for everyone, but when you're in the younger years, you can use Google Slides to support your learners just that little bit more. It is an assessment tool, so you can use it for your work. It's a collaboration tool. Now, we're not going to show you that today, but ways that you can use Google Slides to collaborate is you can have one presentation that the children are making. You can copy that single slide or a couple of slides into a whole class Google Slides presentation. And when they edit their original one, it's going to update on the whole class one. So everyone could be working on their own ones, share it in to the whole class Google Slides, and you can, in real time, create a Google Slide presentation that's just fantastic. And you as a teacher can see the work that's happening in real time as well. It's got lots of accessibility options that we've already discovered and talked about, the hidden settings, and you can use it for video creation opportunities as well. So when I'm making videos for YouTube, or if I'm thinking even about what videos to make, I use Google Slides as the background, and that is pretty much the backbone of the majority of my slides. I use the image manipulation options to create the thumbnails for those videos, and I use the presentation for a lot of the videos that I create. So I'm just using Screencastify and I'm recording the slideshow and talking over it. So let's have a look at what Google Slides looks like. It looks almost identical to Microsoft PowerPoint. I know that a lot of people here are used to Microsoft PowerPoint, and that's certainly what I used before converting to the amazing world of Google Slides. It looks very similar. We've got our title up here. We've got all of these options on the top, and you can see we've got the secret accessibility options turned on. I can add in text, images, shapes, lines. I can change the background, the layout, the theme, the transitions of the slides. I can see when the last edit was. Remember, one of the amazing things about all of G Suite products is that they save automatically. Certainly all Google Docs, Google Slides, Sheets, they all save automatically into your Google Drive. So I can see when the last edit was. Now, if someone else is looking at the presentation, I'll see either a picture of them here or the first initial of their name. I can see any comments that anybody's left or that you've left for your students. I can present to everyone, and I can share this presentation with anyone. So as long, it will give you a shareable link, you can share that with anyone, you can send it to their emails. You can also change who has the rights to edit the Google Slides, and you can change the right to who has the rights to view the Google Slides. So when I share this with everyone on the Google Classroom that we've got, you'll all have the rights to view this slideshow. So here is our present button if you're wanting to present and use it as a presentation tool. For the image creation, all you have to do is create your slide as normal. Okay, here's my Google slide here, pretty plain, just the normal background. And I'm going to go File, Download, and I'm going to choose either JPEG or PNG. Now, those are your two image options that you can download it as. And when you do that, you're able to create images similar to this. So I created both of these images for two of Merkinch's challenges recently that we did. So we had the Merkinch Miles Challenge, and we had the Merkinch Reading Festival as well. Both of these were made on Google Slides. So I've got the text, I've got images, I've put our badge on both of these, and made sure that the background was something eye-catching. And there we go. It's really simple to create images on Google Slides. You can use it for your Hyperdocs, so technically Hyperslides. Here you can see this is a very basic version, but what we use for the little ones, instead of having a Hyperdoc where everything is on the page, sometimes our learners get a bit distracted and put off when they see all of those questions sitting there. You know what it's like when you're filling out a form and the form just goes on and on and on. Our learners prefer it if there's only the opportunity to see the 5 slides at a time. And once you've ticked off that question, you go on to the next slide and you can only see that question, one question at a time. So this is how we use Hyperdocs or Hyperslides with our Primary 1 and Primary 1-2 classes at Merkinch. You can use it for assessment opportunities. So here I've got a GIF of some of the work that we've been doing during lockdown with our classes. So here we've got the simple 2 times table. It's a click and drag opportunity. So all the pupils are going to do is they're going to click on the option and pull it down to the circle. And they're just sorting these to work on. They've worked on doubles and now we're looking at the 2 times table. So in each circle, you're going to expect to have the same number in each. You can use it for what comes next questions. So I've got here 3 consecutive numbers, 37, 38, 39. What number comes next? And all they have to do is type in that number on their keyboard. They can use the on-screen keyboard. They can touch on their phones. They can do it on their Chromebook or laptop. There's millions of different options available to them. You'll see also that the font I've used is the Chelsea Market font. Mostly because the numbers are mostly how we would teach them in primary school. They're chunky and they're easy to read, certainly for the younger ones. So all I've done to create this is I've created a table with 4 boxes, typed in 3 numbers into 3 of the boxes and left 1 blank. Very similar again, we're filling in the missing sound. So we've got our CVC words here, and all the children have to do is type in the missing sound. So we've got things like sad, they just have to put the D. We've got can, put in the C. Cat, put in the A, or the C, I think it was. And you can see that as they go through, they'll answer each of the questions. Now we share these on Google Classroom, and we mark each of these as make a separate copy for each child. So they're all getting the same presentation and work, but their own version, and they'll just hand that in. So all I've done is, again, created a table with 3 boxes, put in an image, and written in 2 of the letters out of the 3. Another option that you can do is as well is that you can create activity sheets for your pupils using Google Slides. So I've got here a very basic activity sheet, so what letter is missing. So, I mean, we could photocopy that and hand it out to each child and they're going to fill it in. Or, just like here on a Google slide, we can put this image as a background on a Google slide and we can have the children insert each of the sounds, and because my drawing skills are just not as good as the icons here on Google Slides, I can insert an icon for each of these, which just helps the children, especially those who may be visually impaired or who have English as an additional language, or learners who just need that extra bit of help to work out what the word is. So I'm going to show you right now how to do that. So here we've got our basic Google slide. We go File, down to Page Setup. Then we click Custom, and we're going to change the dimensions to 21 by 29.7 centimeters. I'll go through this again, don't worry, okay? You can write it down the second time, just watch just now. So you'll see I get an A4 page as my background, as my sheet, and I'm going to put a background in here by clicking Background. Insert the image of what I want to have as the worksheet, and I'm going to now put text boxes in. That's the blue boxes for the children to write in. And lastly, put in my images. Okay, so we'll go through that again, just so that you can see how to do that. So here's our normal Google slide. We're going to go File, Page Setup. We're going to click Custom and change the dimensions to 21 by 29.7 centimeters. That is A4 paper dimensions. You'll then get your A4 sheet. You're going to click Background, choose an image. You're going to click Upload or browse your Google Drive if you've got one there. Insert the picture as a background and start putting in your text boxes. Now, I'll tell you why we're doing it as a background and not as just putting the image in. So I did start off by doing that and putting the image in, but then a lot of the children were accidentally clicking on the background image that the worksheet is on and getting it to disappear and then going, I don't know what to do. So if you make it the background, they can't move it. They can't touch it. They can't delete it. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do that. Thank you, Jane McDermott, for pointing that one out to me and teaching me that one. Okay, so here are your options for doing that. Now, we do it, obviously I can't show you for copyright reasons, but we actually use Twinkle Worksheets as a, so when you get your Twinkle Worksheet, you download it as a PDF. That's not really work-withable. So all I do is type into Google PDF to JPEG or PDF to image, and I convert that PDF to an image and save it to my computer. Then I just upload that image as the background image, and we can use that. Put the text boxes in where you want the children to type, and you're away. So that's one idea for you there to support your learners. It's worked really well in lockdown for us, so you can give that a try certainly in your classrooms. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone coming here and watching the presentation today on accessibility and Google Slides. We now have the opportunity, I forgot to take the timer out, we've got about 13 minutes left or so to go to our breakout rooms and talk about these questions here. So what is one thing that you've learned about Google Slides? How could this one thing help your class? Of what you've seen today, what would you use the most? Would it be Google Slides? Would it be accessibility options? Would it be the text-to-speech? Would it maybe be creating the A4 worksheets for your pupils? Then you're cutting out on your printing code. You're saving yourselves a lot of money and saving those printed codes for when you're needing to create displays or for your assemblies. So what would be the most useful for you? And if you've got any extra questions for your leaders, now's the time to ask them in your breakout rooms. So if you want to join your breakout rooms, I'll see you there. Thank you for joining me today. If I don't see you from one of the other groups, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I hope that you start using the accessibility settings and Google Slides. Thank you.